Help me reach 2,000 subscribers. Support the video with a like and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read everyone. Thank you. I used to think silence was strength, that letting things slide meant I was mature enough not to get dragged into drama. That's what I told myself, at least, every time I ignored a red flag with Claire. She was spontaneous, unpredictable, and loved the thrill of doing things her way. At first, I found it exciting. Her impulsive energy was the opposite of my calm nature. But somewhere along the line, her recklessness stopped being charming and started feeling cruel. When she told me she was going on a weekend girls' trip, I didn't argue. I wanted to trust her. She'd been distant lately, claiming work had drained her, and that she needed to reconnect with herself. I nodded, pretending not to notice how she avoided eye contact as she packed her suitcase. My gut twisted, but I swallowed it. I'd been taught to trust before accusing. For 3 days I didn't hear much from her. Just a few vague texts. Having fun. And miss you, babe. No pictures, no calls. Then late Sunday night she returned with a tan, a smirk, and a story that didn't add up. She said her phone battery died most of the time. She said the hotel had bad Wi-Fi. She said too much too fast. Something in me clicked that night. Maybe it was the way her laughter sounded rehearsed or the way she avoided my eyes when I asked if she had fun. So I did what I never thought I'd do. I checked her social media drafts. And there it was. A private video meant for her close friends. Her and Ethan, her ex, sitting together on a beach, drinking, laughing, looking like they never broke up. For a long minute I just stared at the screen. My hands didn't even shake. It was strange. Realizing the person you've loved for years is a stranger wearing their face. I copied the video, transferred it to my phone, and said nothing. Not that night. Not the next morning. She thought my silence meant I didn't know. But what she didn't realize was that silence isn't always weakness. Sometimes it's a warning. I waited calmly, methodically, for the right moment. Because if she wanted to play games, I was done playing the quiet, trusting fool. The next few days felt like living in a movie where I already knew the ending. Claire moved around the house, humming songs, pretending everything was normal. She'd kiss my cheek in the morning, ask if I wanted coffee, and talk about catching up on her work. Her performance was flawless. If I hadn't seen that video, I might have believed her. But every touch felt hollow, every smile rehearsed. I didn't confront her right away. I wanted her to reveal who she really was when she thought she was safe. So I played along, nodding, smiling, keeping my tone calm. Inside, though, I was collecting evidence, memories, and courage. I knew one thing. When I finally spoke, there'd be no screaming, no begging, no chaos. Just truth. Sharp and cold enough to end everything. On Thursday evening, I told her we should have dinner together. Just the two of us, like old times. She agreed instantly, excited to play the part of the loving wife again. She wore that same floral dress I used to love, the one she'd worn on our first trip together. The irony wasn't lost on me. Halfway through dinner, she started telling stories about her girls' trip. Her eyes lit up with fake enthusiasm as she mentioned beaches, cocktails, and laughter. I let her finish, then quietly placed my phone on the table. Is this the beach you're talking about? I asked, pressing play. The video began to play, her laughter echoing over the restaurant's soft music, Ethan's hand resting comfortably on her thigh. Her face drained of color instantly. The glass slipped from her hand and shattered on the floor. The entire restaurant went silent, eyes turning toward us. She tried to stammer out an excuse. It's not what it looks like, I can explain. But her words were just noise. I didn't need explanations anymore. I looked her in the eyes and said calmly, you lied. Again. But this time you recorded it yourself. For the first time in years she had no words. That smug confidence she wore like armor vanished. She sat frozen, watching as I stood up, placed some cash on the table and said quietly, you can finish your dinner. I'm done with mine. Then I walked out. No shouting, no dramatic exit. Just quiet finality. The kind that hurts more than anger ever could. The night air felt heavier than usual as I stepped outside that restaurant. But for the first time in months, I could actually breathe. There was no rage left in me, no tears, just a strange sense of relief. I'd finally stopped pretending. The truth was out there now, lying between us like broken glass. Impossible to step over. When I reached home, I packed my things methodically, the essentials first, then the memories that still meant something to me. The framed photo from our wedding? I left it face down. The anniversary gifts? Left them too. I wasn't taking reminders of a life built on deceit. Claire called several times that night. I didn't answer. Her messages flooded in apologies, excuses, desperate promises that she'd make it right. But the thing about betrayal is, once it happens, you stop hearing the voice of the person who did it. You just hear the echo of every lie they ever told. The next morning, I sent her a message, short, direct, and final. I saw who you really are. You don't owe me an explanation. You owe yourself one. Papers will come soon. And that was it. No arguments, no last meeting, no drawn-out closure. I left the keys on the kitchen counter and walked away from the home we'd built together. Weeks passed. Friends called trying to get my side of the story. I told them there was no story left, just lessons. Claire tried reaching out again, even came to my office once saying she'd made a mistake, that she still loved me. But love without respect is just habit. And I was done living on leftovers. It's strange how life rebalances after chaos. I started waking up early again, going for runs, cooking my own meals. Small things that reminded me I could exist without her orbiting my world. The silence that used to feel lonely began to feel peaceful. I never exposed her publicly. I didn't post the video, didn't send it around, didn't destroy her career or reputation, though I easily could have. I chose dignity over revenge. Because sometimes walking away is the loudest statement you can make. Months later, I saw her at a cafe. She looked up, expecting me to stop, maybe even smile. But I just nodded politely and kept walking. Her eyes followed me, searching for the man who once tolerated her lies. But he was gone. The one who walked out of that restaurant wasn't broken. He was reborn.